For the first time since 2018, our Chicago Bears beat the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. That's actually the first time since 2015 since we beat the Packers in Lambeau. But regardless, it's been a long, long time since we beat the Packers. And I don't care their backup quarterback was in because Malik Willis was playing about as good as Jordan Love was playing in this game. So I feel like regardless, we would have had a chance to beat the Packers today with how we were fighting in the second half of this game, even with all the mistakes that we made, okay, for the Chicago Bears to finally break their massive losing streak this season, to break the losing streak against the Packers, to break the losing streak on the road on Sunday games. We had not won a Sunday road game since 2021. I'm going to be very happy about that, and I'm going to celebrate it, okay? It's been a very rough season for all Bears fans and for the Bears players as well. There were so many games this season we let slip away at the very last second, at least 4 or 5 games. We could have won at the last second, but something had to go wrong. So the fact that we finally got a win, that Caleb Williams finally got his first game-winning drive of his NFL career. He should have had at least 3 or 4 by now, but somebody always fucked it up on the team. Thankfully, nobody fucked it up this time. DJ Moore almost did at the end. Okay, he almost kind of caused us to lose a game with his fumble, but DJ Moore also made a lot of good plays in this game, so I'm not going to put the blame, solely on him if we did lose this game. But the fact that Caleb still found a way to get down the field, get into field goal range, and Cairo Santos nailing the 51-yard field goal, that was super exciting, and that's something Bears fans should be pretty happy about going into the offseason, okay? It still doesn't change the fact that this has been a very rough season. It doesn't change the fact that we need a lot of upgrades on this roster to be in contention mode. We need a better head coach by far. Thomas Brown in no ways is ready to be a head coach, as we saw in this game and also over the last month. I mean, he was coaching very scared in the second half of this game when we did have the lead, so that's why I thought the Bears we're going to lose this game at the end, because the way he was coaching, okay, with the conservative play calling, only really calling horizontal plays and screen passes, not trusting Caleb to make a play downfield, that almost lost us this game. So, I'm happy that Thomas Brown, won a game finally, his first win in his coaching career, and, he's going to be happy about that. His family should be happy. It's a good moment for him, but he is not ready to be a head coach in any way in the NFL, and the Bears, in my opinion, guys, have to go hard after Ben Johnson. He is the really obvious choice at head coach to make for the Bears. But that's for a separate video. I'm not going to be talking about offseason stuff until, next week now. But talking more about this game, guys, it was not a very pretty game for the Chicago Bears, okay? There were so many mistakes they made throughout the course of this game where I just wanted to rip my hair out, and it's been the same old shit for the Bears this entire season. The difference was that today we miraculously found a way to overcome all of our mistakes. But if you look at the total yards in this game, the Packers did outgain us. So the Packers had 367 total yards. The Bears had 224, but the difference was turnovers and special teams. I mean, the Bears had 2 turnovers forced. We also had that insane, a fake return touchdown. Reminded me so much of Johnny Knox bringing one back in the day that got called back for some bullshit reason. Who was a player? I think Josh Blackwell brought that back. It was a tremendous fake by the Bears' entire special teams. Everybody thought DJ Moore was getting the ball, but Josh Blackwell actually had it on the other side of the field, and he ran basically untouched for the touchdown to give the Bears the early lead. So I thought that was fantastic special teams coaching there, by the Bears special team coach, Richard Hightower. So I was happy that worked. And then, obviously the defense forcing, multiple turnovers. We had that, strip sack basically on Malik Willis. We also had a early peanut punch by Jalen Johnson. He rips that ball out, and then Caleb Williams and DeAndre Swift go down the field to score the touchdown to get the 14-3 lead. After that, I thought maybe the Bears could actually win this, but after the early lead, the Bears did basically nothing for the next 2 quarters, very little at least, and that's when I was thinking, oh shit, maybe the Bears are going to find a way to lose this. And it seemed very likely they would lose until the final second, because they were just making every mistake possible on especially offense, guys. Like so many holding penalties, false starts, illegal shifts. Like this has been the case with the Chicago Bears offense the entire season. I think it comes down to really bad coaching and the fact that also we have mostly backup offensive linemen playing for us. Like Tevin Jenkins was out, Braxton Jones was out. At right guard, we have a revolving door basically because Nate Davis got cut. So the fact that Caleb is, he's being forced to play with backup offensive linemen against pretty good defenses. The Packers had a pretty good defense. I thought it was pretty impressive that he could still even put up the stat line that he had in this game. And yes, it was not a very impressive stat line. He only had 148 passing yards, one passing touchdown, went 21 for 29 through the air. So like it wasn't like a crazy flashy stat line, but late in this game, guys, Caleb Williams made the plays that he had to make. And he also limited the turnovers, which is a big thing about Caleb Williams. I mean, this guy does not turn the ball over. It's very impressive. I know that some Bears fans are kind of angry at that sometimes because they want to see him taking the chances downfield, which is a fair criticism, but it should also be celebrated that Caleb has barely thrown any interceptions this entire season as a rookie quarterback. That is very, very hard to do. So, the fact that he can take care of the football keeps the Chicago Bears in these games. He made some really good sideline throws in the fourth quarter. He had some over the middle of the field to DJ Moore, to Keenan Allen. Rome Odunze was not really used in this game, which really sucks to see Rome, such a fantastic weapon, basically being phased out of the Bears offense in certain games, which is why I think the Bears need a true offensive-minded head coach like a Ben Johnson to actually get the most out of him. But regardless, I was pretty happy with Caleb in this game, specifically for his fourth quarter performance. He has been so clutch the entire season, putting the Bears in position to win games in the fourth quarter against some pretty good teams as well. And in this game, he started at his own 20-yard line and went down the field to the Green Bay 33 in a matter of just some seconds. Okay, less than a minute, he went down the field that fast, even with some penalties happening, even with some bad play calling, situational awareness by his head coach. Caleb still found a way to go down the field and get Cairo in position to kick the game-winning field goal. So for a rookie quarterback, guys, like I'm going to give a lot of praise to Caleb for this game, even though, again, the stat line could have been better. I was happy with how he played in this game, and he played good enough to finally beat the Green Bay Packers. He's the first Bears quarterback to beat the Packers since Trubisky, and the first Bears quarterback since Jay Cutler to beat the Packers on the road at Lambeau Field. And if you look at Caleb's stat line for this entire season, it looks pretty good, okay? It's 3,393 passing yards, 19 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, passer rating of 87.4. And again, compared to the expectations going into this season, yes, these numbers are not nearly as high as we wanted them to be, but if you look at the stats overall, like this is production-wise one of the best seasons in Bears quarterback history. Even with all the mistakes that Caleb made, the fact that he was able to play every single snap basically for the Chicago Bears, even taking all the hits, taking damn near 70 sacks, not getting injured, that is extremely impressive. The durability is very, very impressive because our last quarterback and last couple quarterbacks, like they got injured during basically every season. Trubisky missed some time in his 2018 campaign. I think he missed some time in 2019 too. Then 2020 he just got benched. But yeah, like there's been like every quarterback basically besides for a few have missed time during a season. So the fact that Caleb has played every single excuse me, I almost choked on myself. But the fact that Caleb has played every single snap during his rookie season is extremely, extremely impressive with the beating that he took behind this horrible offensive line. So I am all in on Caleb Williams, guys, in the future. Like I know some Bears fans are still skeptical. There's still mistakes that he makes. Sometimes he holds onto the football too long. Sometimes he's not really sensing pressure the right way in the pocket. But I think a lot of that just came down to the fact the supporting cast has been so bad during his rookie year, like much worse than we thought it was going to be entering the year, especially the offensive line. And the coaching has been so bad too. He's had 3 offensive play callers and 2 head coaches during his rookie season, about to be 3 head coaches pretty soon. Like he should be praised for putting up with all this bullshit the Bears have put him through and still maintaining a positive attitude, still trying his best in every single game. Like I'm all in on Caleb Williams as a franchise quarterback. If you're not, suit yourself, but I really think that Caleb is going to be a good quarterback for the Chicago Bears for a long, long time to come. And talking about the rest of the team, guys, okay, the supporting cast on offense, the offensive line I thought was not really good, okay, for the majority of this game with the mistakes they were making. They couldn't really hold up in pass protection for very long. That's why we had to go to some of the horizontal plays and some of the, quick slants over the middle of the field. But, like, I don't think Caleb even attempted any pass above 15, 20 yards because, Thomas Brown knew that this O-line definitely cannot hold up in pass protection with Larry Borum on the left side, with gaps on the interior. at the left guard spot, at the center spot. Like, we don't have a good pass protecting offensive line. So, I think we had to kind of work around that in this game. And, DJ Moore, I thought, had the best game out of any playmaker. I know he had the fumble, which really sucked, but, to turn some of those, screens and like quick plays into 15, 20-yard gains really made the difference for the Chicago Bears in the second half of this game. He had 9 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore is still a fantastic weapon. I know he's been having a pretty disappointing season, but with the right play caller, DJ Moore, again, is going to go off for 1,000 yards next season. I can guarantee that. And DeAndre Swift also had a better game in this one. He had 20 carries for 65 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown as well. I've not been the biggest DeAndre Swift fan this season, but I thought he did pretty good for the most part in this game for what he had to work with. And talking about the defense, guys, defense was definitely impressive. The only big plays we allowed were like fluke plays down the field. Like, literally every single big play was kind of a fluke play where either Jordan Love or Malik Willis just threw a ball up and our cornerbacks could not track the ball in the air for some reason. Jalen Johnson lost track of one, Tyreek Stevenson lost track of one, and it almost caused us to lose this game. But I thought besides for those fluke plays, the Bears were pretty disciplined, on the ground against the run. Like, they still weren't great against the run, but compared to how bad they have been in other games, I thought they played a much better game. The tackling was a lot better. The secondary was making plays down the field. They were making plays on the ball. They were forcing turnovers. Like, this was a pretty good defensive performance for the most part by the Chicago Bears defense. It could have been better still, but like, we're missing some key guys. Like, Andrew Billings is our only interior really run defender, and like without him it's been very, very hard on this D line. So Ryan Poles, if he's the GM next week, he needs to add more talent to this defensive line because we're still lacking at talent on the D line. But I thought the Bears secondary talent really showed up in this game. Kyler Gordon made a handful of spectacular plays in this game behind the line of scrimmage, making some plays in coverage down the field. So overall, even though it was against a backup quarterback, Matt LaFleur is a fantastic play caller. So the fact that we could still, hold the Packers offense to only scoring 22, I thought was a pretty good game by the Chicago Bears defense. And obviously I talked about the special teams. Shout out to Cairo Santos, man, for nailing that field goal because I was so scared it was going to get blocked. I was like 99% sure he was going to either miss it or it was going to get blocked because that's what the Chicago Bears always do. But he found a way to put that through the uprights. And we also had some good returns from Tyler Scott. We had the Josh Blackwell touchdown. So overall, guys, it was a team effort, okay? It took every single phase of the Chicago Bears to finally beat the Green Bay Packers, but I'm so happy we finally did it and that we can, end the season on a semi-positive note. Again, it does not erase the horrible season that we had. Like, Ryan Poles, if he remains as GM, he has to make the right moves to ensure a season like this does not happen again. Otherwise, the Bears are doomed as a franchise and they're going to waste another fantastic quarterback prospect. Ryan Poles, again, if he stays, needs to make sure he gets it right this time around with the head coaching hire, with investing in the trenches. And as a Bears fan, you can only hope and pray that that's what happens. Leave your comments down below, guys. What do you guys think about this game? I'm just so happy that I can finally say we beat the Green Bay Packers, that I can say that Caleb was a blocked field goal away from sweeping the Packers in his rookie season. I mean, I think that's pretty impressive for being a rookie to almost sweep the Packers, if not for a fluky blocked field goal, and the fact that we finally ended our losing streak, like we can finally have some positivity going into 2025 off season. And I just really hope and pray, guys, the Bears finally get it right. Like, I want Ben Johnson so badly to be the head coach. If it's Mike Vrabel, I would not be mad either, but like, I'm going to be making videos about the offseason pretty soon, and you guys will see, like, I want Ben Johnson to be the head coach pretty badly of the Chicago Bears for 2025, but we'll see what happens. Leave your comments down below. As always, I can finally say it, bear down.